Hi, everybody, and welcome to Salesforce with Megan. In today's episode, we have brought on a special guest with us, Amos, and he is going to be showcasing his personal brand in a very and fun, unique way. So we brought him onto the channel to showcase ways that you can design your projects, your portfolios, ideas, and really get that creativity out of you and put it to work. So this interview will be about 20 minutes long. We are going to divide it between just asking him general questions, but also showcasing his portfolio, which he did design for his son. So we're really excited to have him on here. And Amos, I would like to just be able to ask you and start you off with a general question. Please just tell us about your journey into Salesforce.
Personal journey so far, I've started learning Salesforce back in September 2021. And the reason I got exposed to it is because I had some previous experience with developing web applications. And while I was doing that project, got thinking that I think I like redid the wheel. And I just like Googled it. Is there any other like platforms or software out there that does like purchase orders, deliver receipts? And it always came out when I Googled it, Microsoft Dynamics and Salesforce. I mean, I knew what Microsoft Dynamics was. Of course, I had no idea. So I started just reading about it. And then I'm like, hey, this is like exactly what I did, in React and Firebase. So that's how I got started. And when I started using it, trying out dev orgs and going to Trailhead, I just got hooked. And that's basically how I started. And like I said, from September 2021 till now, that's what I've been doing like almost every night, just trying to learn. So how it is.
That's your journey. I like it. I always love people asking their journeys because like sometimes people work with Salesforce or they randomly heard about it through a friend or like whatever the case may be. Everybody's story in the Salesforce is really interesting.
A lot of what I hear also is like accidental admins, accidental
Yes.
this, right? So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I think, yeah, you're totally right. The most the most common thing that we hear is like, I was an accidental admin. And I'm just like, there you go. There's the story.
Yeah.
That's the key word. Well,
Yeah.
cool. I would like to know, because studying and hands-on experience is very different, being that you're now 3 times certified within the months that you've been in Salesforce, what has helped you mostly retain your information and also apply it in a working setting?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree that we could distinguish between like studying theory and like hands-on, like practical know-how. We could distinguish those two. And but I think it's when we learn, it's a combination of both.
Mhm.
So at least the way I learn it is, it's obvious, right? When we're studying for certifications, that's obviously like more on theory. And
Mhm.
then when we go on Trailhead and we tinker around the dev org, and building projects, that's going to be more of hands-on. But
Mhm.
yeah, in my case, I use that hands-on experience to like retain the information,
Mhm.
because that's basically it, right? When you use theory and put it into practice, you retain it better. Because I like an example of it is, when you're following around Trailhead,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes every step is already in there,
Yeah.
so you're just following along. And
Mhm.
sometimes that doesn't work for me, because after 2 days I'm like, oh, what did I do? I forget. But when you're doing like your own project, like that hands-on experience, you're drawing from the theory that and then you encounter like this problem that doesn't have an instruction on how to solve it.
Mhm.
So that particular situation right there, where you're thinking on your own how to solve that problem, at least for me, that's how I learn more and
Yeah.
retain the information. Because next time it happens, it's like, I encountered a similar problem like that and I could draw on it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that helped a lot. So in my case, building the projects definitely put like the theory in practice, and I'm able to retain more of what I learned trying to get certifications.
Yeah, like putting the pieces together. And on this channel, we actually talk a lot about the different types of learning styles. And a lot of people that come on the channel are actually more hands-on, right? Because like exactly like you said, I'll be on Trailhead one day and I'm like, oh, really cool stuff that you're learning. And then all of a sudden it's like, what did I just learn? I just got a badge. I don't remember what I just learned. I mean, cool for the badge, but I just don't know what I learned. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting to hear. Yeah, like a lot of people come in and say this and say the same thing. So can you talk to us about the projects that you've done and completed throughout your time in Salesforce?
The first two projects that I built, like literally the first two projects I built in Salesforce. The first one actually is it's a sneaker reselling application I built on a dev org. The use case there actually is my nephew is buying and selling sneakers. I didn't even know that existed, that there's an economy right there.
Yes.
You know, so Jordans, Yeezys. I mean, I don't know these things, but yeah, so he just mentioned to me that he does that, and he uses Google Sheets. So that's automatically like if it's in like an Excel form, that's probably something I could, you know, do in Salesforce better. And then another thing he does is he goes to different websites to check like the prices. So he has an idea, right? So he goes to like 3 websites. So I just figured, you know what, maybe there's an API that I could use in the internet. API is just like a server, you request data from it, and then it gives back the data that you need. So I figured I probably could look for an API that's going to give me the data that I need, like a picture, the price, the name of the shoe. So that's basically the project. I built that project for him so he could keep track of his sales.
Wow.
Like it just sounds like Salesforce, right? The buying and selling. And at the same time, he doesn't need to go out looking at different websites because the shoes, the pictures, the prices are already inside Salesforce. So it's getting the data real time, live from the API. So that's that's fun, and he's using it. So that's I'm happy he's using it.
Yeah.
And then this next one is the movie application that I built in Experience Cloud. So the use case there is, again, my son is just watching trailers for like our family movie night. Just a funny story. One time we were in IMDb, he typed like Avengers. And the crazy thing is, IMDb will give you a list of all movies with Avengers in it, right? One of the movies actually showed up, Bikini Avengers. And I go, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Not yet.
So, yeah, I'm just like scratching my head. And I thought, you know what? I think I could do better than this.
Yeah.
So I read about the Experience Cloud and Lightning Web Components, and I just thought, you know what? I could again use an API to draw the data and display it. And the most important thing is that I could filter out the movies PG-13 and below. So yeah, so that's those are the 2 projects that so far I've built.
That's amazing, especially the sneaker journey, but I can only imagine your son's reaction. You showed him the Experience Cloud.
Just imagine my reaction trying to explain what the heck that is.
Oh yeah. You're like, here. Hey, but
just go back.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So I love hearing about inspiration that people get to be able to come up with all these like portfolio ideas and experience clouds. I mean, really, we've seen like a huge growth of people just coming out with different ideas and posting it on LinkedIn, for example.
Yeah.
And just for like the audience watching, that's how we met. He posted his like projects, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like he has to come on and show people. So one area in particular that people struggle with, it's not that they don't want to do something, it's that they struggle with the idea of creativity. And I would love to be able to ask you, like, you came up with an idea for your son, but what was the creative process? Like you wrote down ideas, how did you draft it out? How did you architect it? Just kind of like walk us through that.
You know, I would want to think that I sit down, turn on music, and somehow some kind of creative spirit comes out of me, but I don't want to lie. But usually what just happens is I feel lucky that I think for the most all the projects that I made so far, it's like there's a problem that fell right in front of me.
Mm,
And
mm,
then I just thought that, you know what, I think sales, if I use programming in general, Salesforce in particular, I think I could make it better.
mm,
And that's just how I came up with the idea. And like I said, it's not like all of a sudden like this creative thought just came in. Actually, there's a problem right in front of me, and then that's where the opportunity I saw, I could build something to
mhm.
actually make this better. So and I understand the struggle. When I sit down and try to think of something creative, I usually end up with nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
But and I had a lot of conversations in LinkedIn. This is the same thing. Like, how do you come up with this? And I tell them the same thing. I just look for something, even through conversations with people, and then like with my nephew, and then I come up with that. But
Yeah.
if nothing else, I'm just thinking, is there something repetitive that I do in my work or in my hobbies? And
Mhm.
then that's just like a sign that, we could use software to solve that. And most of the time, I think,
Yeah.
you could use Salesforce to at least solve a portion of that problem. So that's how I got it. So I wish I could say, like I'm a genius or something, but no.
Hey, I mean, what you did is awesome. But no, I think you offer a really good point. And sometimes, sitting down, and I face that struggle as a content creator. I'm sitting down and I'm like, well, I'm looking at people's problems on LinkedIn and I'm like, well, what can I like talk about? Right. But sometimes when you just go about your daily life, or especially talking to someone, just
Yeah.
genuine conversations,
Hmm.
that's when the most ideas I feel like flow from you. So for people that are thinking about creating a portfolio or an experience cloud, you're architecting already. And I think these are really cool features and things that you can talk about when you're in interviews, if you are, switching from another career or transitioning in or just leveling up. These are really good things that you can talk about. And then the creative process, because those are things that actually capture like recruiters or hiring managers. These are very common questions that they'll ask you, like, what are some of the challenges that you face when creating something in Salesforce? And these are the exact same things that you can talk about. So it's cool that you shared that with us.
And just to piggyback on that idea,
Mhm.
because I remember interesting conversation I had with people. Because like I said, some of the benefits I got from these projects is that I got meaningful conversations and meaningful connections in LinkedIn. Just like right now, you and me, right?
Yeah.
We met because of those projects. So yeah, but one of the interesting thing is that people ask me not about like how did you do this, not even those, but they're more interested in like those people who's been in the industry for long.
Mm.
They're asking me like what did this application solve, like the use case. It's interesting
Yeah.
because they're not really asking about what components did you use, what features. They're just asking like what did this solve, like why did you, they're asking like the use case, why did you build this. So
Mm.
that's interesting to me because
Mm.
uh, part of my experience with, because of these, I got some opportunities to interview. That's all they're asking, like seriously, they're not even asking like detailed things. They're just asking, okay, give me a high level overview. What did you do, why
Mm.
did you do it. It's like just those like what's your thought process.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting to me because I thought that they're going to ask me like okay, what's the syntax, what's
Mhm.
how do you write an Apex class and things like that. But none of that, really, none of, well, so far it's not as if I'm an expert in interviews, but so far that's what I've gotten from interviews, and it's just interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? When I was interviewing too, the biggest thing that people who had been in the industry for a long time, they want to know your thought process, because they can understand that you can be taught Salesforce, but it's your thought process behind it and how you went about creating and designing, finalizing, and presenting it.
Mhm.
those are the big areas that they want to know. They want to see that click, 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 he accomplished it, and then boom, your presentation's done. So that's really cool. To my next question, I guess, what was the funnest part of your sons and your nephew's reaction, and then just the funnest part in general of creating this entire thing?
Of course, the their reaction, the fact that they're using it,
Mm,
and of course, in the beginning, they're like happy, they're like excited. Oh, my uncle did this, my dad did this. But after a while, that fades, that fades. But the fact that they're still using it, it's like, for me, that's more satisfying, because I'm thinking that's kind of an affirmation that I built something that is not clunky,
mhm.
because now it's like normal for
Yeah.
them to use it. It's not like emotions anymore that I'm just gonna use it because I know who did this. But now it's like, like my son, he's gonna Google things, he's gonna YouTube things, and then he's going to go to KlipsforKids.com, just to check it out. So it's become like a part of the routine. So that's more satisfying for me,
Yeah.
seeing their reaction like that. But another part is the nerd in me. You know, I think I told you a while ago. There's like things that I build that I don't even finish.
Yeah.
So one of the most funnest thing that for me is when I end up finishing the project and I could see it working.
Mm.
It's like, what I'm like telling myself, the nerd in me is like telling myself, well, look, man, you actually finished it. So,
Yeah.
and that's uh, again, just knowing my history, that I built stuff that I didn't finish, and that's really a fun thing for me, because hey, I ended up finishing it. So yeah, I'm extra proud of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the fact that I finished it. No,
Yeah.
so
I
that's
think
good.
for anything, like you finish a marathon, you finish studying for an exam and you pass it, the feeling of like self happiness and self reward, like just accomplishing something in general. I think personally, I think sometimes that's really hard for humans in general. Like we say that we're going to do something, kind of like New Year's resolutions, right?
Oh, exactly.
And we just
That's
don't
what I was
do
thinking. It's
it.
a New Year's resolution right there. I'm gonna do this, but not really.
But not really. It's gonna be my goal for about a week and then I'm done. But
Yeah.
like I think with Salesforce, people stick. And when we see so many things like Lori's portfolio, your portfolio, and I've seen another one pop up this week that's just all about travel. Like this woman loved traveling and she decided to put everything inside of her sandbox and her org.
Oh,
And it was brilliant. And she was like, she had a passion for it. So, like you said earlier, everything starts with a passion, and then it's like that self reward of finishing and sticking with it because it's something that you enjoy. And I think that's the biggest thing. So that's really cool. Now we walked through everything. We talked a little bit about your projects and your portfolios, but now I would really like to show the audience and have you actually just drive us through how your portfolio looks. We'll go ahead and hand it off to him and he'll take the lead.
actually, honestly, it's a simple one. There's only like 3 pages here, but the idea here is basically to give him already like genres that he could choose from. So even before him searching for something, there's already something that you could present here. So usually it's I know the movies that he likes, it's action movies, adventure. So these are just like genres of movies that I chose to put in here
Yeah.
from in the home screen, so it'll be easier for him. So just from a user experience standpoint. So yeah, so one genre will give you like 20 movies, and you could scroll like this. And then if you choose one movie, let's say this Doctor Strange movie, you could press on it. It's gonna give you like a details page.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
then in that details page, you could obviously see the actors. It's PG-13, how many minutes.
Yeah.
But the one that he always goes for is, if there's an available trailer, it will actually give you the trailer. You could actually watch it here. So
Ah,
it goes like this.
very cool.
So basically, it's just YouTube videos embedded. Yeah, so it's just giving us like again what you can find if there's an official trailer that
Mhm.
they posted, the movie posted in YouTube, it's gonna draw that here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna get that here.
Love two things. I love the name of the domain that you bought, flips or clips for kids. That's brilliant. Like I love that. That's
That's
even
from
more
my daughter.
faster than Netflix. Oh, your daughter?
That's my daughter.
Oh, she's
If it's
brilliant.
creative, it's gotta come from my kids because if it were left to me, this is gonna be movie database for kids, like like nothing, But yeah, I told them, what can I name them? What could I name this? And they
Yeah.
came up with this. Yeah, so
Brilliant kids. Oh my gosh. And then what is the numbers on the bottom? You see it's 7.5, 7.2, 8.1. What are
oh
those?
yeah, these are again because I'm just getting data from a database.
Mhm.
So that particular database, you could actually like rate the movies. So this 7.7, 7.5, 7.4, 8.1, whatever, those numbers in here are actually the movie ratings.
Yeah.
They're kind of into those ratings because like a little bit biased. When they see like a low rating, they don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
So they want to see
Yeah.
like a number. Oh, people are watching this. This is probably a good movie. It influences them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so true. Well, these are terrific movies, and I love how you have them based on genre. And like Turning Red is a great movie, fantastic for those
Mhm.
that are watching. And Encanto's a really good movie. Sing 2. I mean, you have so many good PG-13 movies on here that I feel like now moving forward, if anybody asks for like movie for kids, like I would just direct them to this. I know it's
Oh
safe,
yeah, thanks.
number one. Yeah. Like it's safe. It has all the movies, it has the trailer, it has the rating, it has the genres. I mean, you put everything in here. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking us through your portfolio. I had so much fun looking at everything, especially I'm also a Pokemon fan. I used to collect the cards back in the day. So
Okay.
yeah, that was really cool to see.
Okay.
I'm so amazed of all the updated movies that they come out with. So Pokemon fan,
Yeah.
calling you out. But yeah, seriously, like I can't really tell you how happy it makes a lot of people to see designs like this and how creative you can truly get with Salesforce. So I know a lot of people are going to be excited to really see, when people step into Salesforce, like, what can I do? Like, what projects can I do? So that now they're going to be able to see the true beauty of Salesforce and the extent of which you can push it. So I would love to just ask you before we close out here, if you would like to say anything to the audience, if they're considering creating a portfolio, starting their journey, or just really anything that comes to mind.
Well, again, I just want to first thank you again for having me here. I just want to say that building this kinds of projects really helped me get some
Mm.
connection of people that I could like talk to. I mean, just this morning I was texting you about a problem of mine, right?
Yeah.
So, it's just it's that it's it allowed me to know and connect with people. Most importantly, the meaningful conversations I got from these projects, and there are just so many people who I ended up uh, having a connection, and they're so willing to help out and help me out in my journey. So
Mhm.
it's a great benefit, and I would encourage everybody to just try it out, keep grinding. I'm trying to get better myself and trying to break into the ecosystem, so we'll do it all together. We'll support each other. And yeah, just a shameless plug, I have my personal website, portfolio site, amosgo.dev.
Okay.
You can see some of my projects there, and I try to update it. I finish a project.
You know what, Amos, you just reminded me of something. For those that are coming into their Salesforce journey or in their first year transitioning to another position, perhaps you're considering it. We have this interview. We also have an interview from Juan Arriaga that came on the show as well. And he talks about his process of going through job applications. And like you said, Amos, you just got to grind it out sometimes, find a passion, keep it going. And no shameless plug, if you want to connect with him, his LinkedIn will be on the bottom description along with his personal website to check out more of his portfolios, his designs, and everything else included. Well, Amos, thank you so much. And for everybody watching, if you do enjoy this content, don't forget to give the thumbs up and subscribe for more. We will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye.